How's it going, everybody? It is Bullet Club 149 here. We're just gonna come out and say that this is our new channel. We're ready to go, and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna do Royal Rumble results. I'm very disappointed in what the Royal Rumble produced last night. I'm sitting here watching Raw as I record this because I really wanted to talk about the Royal Rumble match in general, just the actual match. Everybody was saying, it was going to be the biggest Royal Rumble ever, 30 years, 30 Royal Rumbles. No, guys, I completely disagree with that. It was one of the worst, in my opinion, here. And, this isn't going to be long. This is just a complete, review of the match. We started off with a long-ass, sorry for my language, but long-ass promo by Enzo and Big Cass, which took most of these big guys at least 3 minutes to get to the ring apiece, and then spoilers broke out where they were getting brought down on golf carts. The big guys were, because of how long the entrance ramp is. I didn't like it. I didn't like how, basically, if you're an average wrestling fan, cool, seeing like a Ty Dillinger, but dedicated wrestling fans like myself and many others who watch our videos, we knew Ty Dillinger was coming. We knew that 4 weeks ago when everybody was chanting Royal Rumble during NXT. You knew he was getting called up, and you knew he was going number 10. Another thing I didn't like about the Royal Rumble this year was the lack of returns or surprises you could have done. We could have had a Shelton Benjamin in there, maybe a Kurt Angle, somebody. Bring in somebody, even a legend like a DDP. There was just nothing, there. It was, and I said this six weeks ago when they started announcing who was coming to the Royal Rumble. I said, if they announce everybody who's coming into the Royal Rumble, how many places are left, how many spots are left for other competitors to come in? It's just not going to make any sense. Mark Henry was a surprise. I guess Kalisto, somebody stole his jacket. If you guys didn't see at the beginning there, somebody actually took his jacket, but Jack Gallagher, nobody cares about, it's bringing in guys who, it don't really matter. It's like, guys, bring in wrestlers that, are going to be there. My biggest thing is Kofi Kingston should have been the only New Day member in there. Sheamus and Cesaro both rightfully deserve to be champions, so I could understand that. They just lost the titles. I thought they were going to go something heel with them. Sheamus go back to heel Sheamus, and Cesaro, he goes back to Cesaro, but they didn't do that. And the worst thing they did was not spread out Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, and Undertaker. They had them all come in at one time. Brock, basically, his whole legacy is dead now, as of right now, because of Goldberg, which I call him Oldberg, and I hate Goldberg. I hated the whole storyline about him and Brock. I just don't like it. The Undertaker, they should have kept all three of them guys a surprise. And then number 30. I'm not going to talk about number 30. I hated it. I don't think that was right. I don't think a guy like Roman Reigns should become, into the Royal Rumble at number 30 after losing his match for the Universal title. First of all, if he came out there and attacked Braun Strowman during the Royal Rumble, I would get it, but he didn't. He just literally went out on number 30 and eliminated one of the best wrestlers in WWE history. So, that is my thought on it. This is the 149 Mafia channel where we'll be doing a live Raw review. This Raw is actually really boring. Sorry if you haven't seen Raw yet, but the spoilers are here. Triple H, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar showed up. We got frickin' Jinder Mahal right now versus Rusev. Jinder Mahal and Rusev versus Enzo and Cass. Nobody cares about. We've seen it 100 times. Nothing's really happened. A Universal title match that didn't mean nothing because Roman Reigns came out and ruined it. Yeah, that's how Raw is right now. SmackDown is definitely going to be beating them in the ratings wise. Nobody wants to see Roman Reigns anymore. And, it's just, it's dragging. Roman Reigns does not deserve this. He doesn't sell what WWE wants. Basically, what I mean by that is that, to me, he's just absolute garbage. I look at Roman Reigns as a guy who they're going to want to replace all these superstars with, but he's not that good. He's not, how an Undertaker crowd will react. He's not how a Brock Lesnar is going to react. He's big, he's muscle, and they're over pushing this guy, basically forcing him on us. And I don't think that's good for business, and I don't think that's good for WWE. My philosophy last night was, and this is just going to be me, and this is me only. This isn't Nito. This isn't anybody else in our clan. This is mine. Samoa Joe should have debuted at 30. He should have won the Royal Rumble. Everybody's saying, wow, he's going to win his debut match. What brand? What title? Well, what I would have done, Samoa Joe wins the Royal Rumble. He announces after the Royal Rumble, after the fireworks on WWE Exclusive, he is going to make an announcement Wednesday on NXT. Have a live NXT broadcasting again. Have it where he's going to say goodbye to the NXT universe and, pick what brand he's going to, who he wants to fight for the title. If that was Kevin Owens, if they want to finish up that feud, or would that be John Cena, who won the WWE title against AJ Styles? So yeah, that's something that they really did wrong with that. I think that would have made NXT more valuable. That could have not only made NXT more valuable, but, it could have got the word out for more people to buy the WWE Network. You could have put on Monday, like on this Monday Night Raw, you could have put Samoa Joe to make his announcement for the future live on NXT after his Royal Rumble win. You could have done that both on Raw and SmackDown and got more viewers for NXT and more subscribers who are not subscribed to the WWE Network. That's just my opinion on it. So that's about it, man. I don't know if you guys want to hear this. It's more like a rant, but, I'm just putting it out there. Have a nice day. This is Bullet Club 149 from the 149 Mafia channel.